Perfect. Great. I'm just gonna fix the camera up here. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's nothing here because I know that video. But what I'm gonna do.
I'm just gonna mute everybody, just so, or if you can mute your thing while you're figuring things out, that would just be really helpful.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're live on YouTube and we're live here too, so I just gotta say a few things before we get going. Everybody on Zoom, just hang out for a sec. Hello, everybody. I'm Katerina. I'm the Chief Dessert Designer from Dolled Up Desserts, and we are on Bake Along number 5 today. Today we are making dolled up cookies, which are basically DIY, throw in anything magical cookies, and I'll explain that a bit later as we get into it. We have a whole bunch of people on Zoom below here who are joining us in baking along today. And so if it looks like you hear weird voices or I'm talking to different things, it's because there's another camera down here. But yeah, thanks for joining and I hope you guys enjoy. Sorry, I just had to talk. I have 2 cameras, one for YouTube and one for here. We're gonna wait until 2:05 to make sure. I think we're waiting on one more and then we're gonna get going. Oh, never mind, there we go. I think we have everybody. And if you guys could go on video, that would be super great so I can see all your beautiful faces. Good. Hello, hello. Hi. Hey, everybody. Hi. I'm Katerina. Nice to meet you, Desmond. Thanks for joining. I think I met you on the porch when I came and dropped off the mix, right? Yeah. There you go. Perfect.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, perfect.
We're just gonna change our screen view here because we're or should we keep it the way it is so that we can watch you?
Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. So for those of you who are new to Bake Along, welcome. I'm Katerina. I am the Chief Dessert Designer and founder of Dolled Up Desserts. I will need you guys to mute your audio unless you have a question for this, just to make sure we're not interrupting anybody or anything. And that would be great, thank you. What we're doing here is we're baking along. Today we're making dolled up cookies, which last week we made salty chocolate chunk cookies using the cookie mix that we have. And this week we're taking that exact same principle we did last time and we're mixing things up and putting in whatever toppings you want, which is really fun and exciting. I'm really excited about it. And I want to see what all of you guys have decided to put into this cookie. So what makes a dolled up cookie so special? Actually, before I get into talking about all that, one thing is if you have any questions at all, you can either type them in the chat function, which I have open, either on YouTube or on Zoom, or you can just unmute yourself if you were on Zoom and you can just ask a question, and it's totally fine. And that's really about it. I hope you have all your ingredients in front of you. We're gonna get started shortly, but before we get into that, let's go wash our hands. That's the number one first thing we gotta do. And then we're gonna preheat our ovens to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna start with that. All right, perfect. And then I just gotta grab some soap. And then wash your hands. Number one important thing to do if you're gonna be dealing with food, always wash your hands. Awesome. When you guys are back, just let me know. In the interim, I'm going to chat a little bit about this cookie. So this specific cookie, everything we do at Dolled Up Desserts is gluten-free and vegan, so no dairy and eggs. And this specific cookie mix that we made in this blend is really special. It took us a really long time to figure out. And for those of you who joined us last week, you got to try this cookie. It's awesome. It's really, really nice. And we just did a salty chocolate chunk cookie. What makes a dolled up cookie different is that you got to meet 4 different factors for filling. Okay, perfect. Bernadette's figuring it out. We need 4 different factors for the filling to make it perfect. So a perfect cookie, in our opinion, includes something salty, something sweet, something that is a texture creator, and then a bonus bite. So these could be 100 billion different things. And, you know, some things that might be in the salty category could also be in the texture category, or some things in the sweet category can also be in the texture or bonus bite category, right? It really varies. It's just gives you an opportunity to do something creative. And so an example of a combo, pretzels for salty, oats for texture, chocolate chips and caramel for sweet, and then nuts for a bonus bite. But you could even say like the nuts are crunchy, the nuts can be salty, so those could be different factors. So it's really just kind of figuring out and being creative. What do I want to put into my dream cookie? And that's what we're doing today. We're making a dream cookie. This is also a way for you to use any sort of leftovers in the cupboard. If you have like scraps and bits of things and you just want to throw them into something, making a dolled up cookie is a great way of doing things. So I want to know what everybody's toppings are who's joined us on Zoom. So I want to go around, and everybody, I want you to introduce yourself. I want you to say where you're from, and I want to know what toppings you decided to put in your cookie. So what's your salty, what's your sweet, what's your texture, and what's your bonus bite, okay? I'll start because I've got it all here. So in my cookie, I actually put 5 different toppings in. My salty is potato chips. I had some leftover Lay's potato chips that I just kind of threw in. In my sweet, I actually have sweetened toasted coconut, and then I also have some vegan milk chocolate that one of my staff made that I found and I chopped in. Then I have oats for the texture part, and then the bonus bite is unsalted almonds for a little bit of crunch as well too, and they're not as much there. So that's what I've got. I've got a big bowl of all this goodness here. Anybody want to go next and tell me what you guys are putting into your cookie today? Go ahead, anybody. Just unmute yourself.
I'll go.
Sure.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Chris, is that you?
Yeah, this is me. I'm just on my parents' iPad, so it says a different name.
Okay, cool. Is Gian there too?
Sorry?
Are you with Gian?
She's actually here with me via chat.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good.
She's on another iPad beside me.
Oh, wow. Okay, perfect.
So I'm from Mississauga. What was the other question?
Just what your name is, and then what are you putting in the cookie?
Okay. I'm Chris, and I am putting in some weird stuff. I didn't know that I needed the extra stuff, so I just found Cheerios, some Korean peanut treat.
Oh, wow.
Raisins and some salad chopper that kind of works with.
That sounds crazy. Oh my gosh, I love it.
And some cinnamon if I can find it.
Oh my gosh. So it's kind of like an oatmeal raisin cookie, but like you're using noodles and crunchy salad topping as the texture. I love it. That's so great.
So we'll see how it goes.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay. Bernadette has typed in, she still can't get her video working. I'm sorry, I wish she could, but it's okay. You have put in chips, marshmallows, more chips, and some salted maple candy pecans that you've made. Chocolate chips, okay, perfect. Oh, that sounds good. So that's gonna be kind of like a salty pecan, like it's like a super chocolate chip cookie there with some salt. That sounds really good. All right, who's next?
Hi there.
Hi.
This is Desmond.
Hi, Desmond.
Hi, I'm from Toronto, and for the sweet, I did like crushed candy canes.
Yum.
Textured, I did marshmallows.
Oh man.
And for the salty, I did popcorn.
Wow. Okay, so we've got crushed candy canes, marshmallows, and popcorn. I was thinking about using popcorn today too. That's gonna be a really like an interesting cookie because you're gonna have mint and then also like chewy That's gonna be really good. Oh man, I want to try your cookie too. These guys sound so good. Awesome. Okay, who wants to go next?
I'm Kyler.
Hi, Kyla.
And for the sweet, I'm using chocolate. For salty, I was using pretzels.
Nice.
For the texture, I'm using granola.
Yummy.
And then for the bonus bite, I'm doing
Oh, yummy. Okay, that sounds really good. It's like a little bit of a twist on like a chocolate chip cookie with a little extra crunchy there. Well, it's gonna be yummy. That's great. All right, and we got one more. I think our friends in Ottawa.
Hi, yeah, we're from Ottawa. My name is Esme. This is Izzy.
Hi.
So we're using like these little flip crackers and like pretzels and crackers. Anyways, but that's like salty and crunchy. And then we have marshmallows and chocolate chips and Rice Krispies.
Wow.
Like Rice Krispies.
Oh my gosh, we got quite the assortment of things going on here. Everybody's got some good combo of like chips or cereals or crackers or lots of chocolate, lots of oats. I'm really excited, really excited to see how this goes. I hope your cookies taste great. I can't wait. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into actually making the cookie now. Everybody's preheated their oven to 350, I hope. If you haven't, go do that right now. First thing that we have to do with making a cookie, as we did last week, is we got to cream our butter and sugar together, and we cream it together using an electric mixer. And we do this to ensure that the cookie sugars have dissolved into the butter and have kind of become one with the butter to make a nice, really consistent fudgy cookie. So if you all have the oil in your kit, as far as I know, and so you can either use the full amount. I hope that you melted it out of the containers because it's hard, but you can put it right into your mixing bowl. I like to use half coconut oil, half earth balance, which basically is like 80 grams coconut oil, 80 grams earth balance, which is about a third a cup, third a cup. I like both because they both provide different textures and consistencies, as well as flavors. They do different things. You're also going to take your sugar. We have 185 grams of white sugar and 110 grams of brown sugar. You're going to put that in your bowl, and you're going to set it on your mixer. If you have a stand mixer, you can use a stand mixer. If you have a hand mixer, you're going to hand mix it, and you're going to mix it for about 5 minutes, basically until it is light, white, and fluffy, or cream colored. You want to get all that sugar mixed in. This is where, if your microphone is on, make sure you turn it off because it's going to get loud in here. I'd started on a low speed first so the sugar doesn't fly out of the bowl. So while my stuff is mixing and everybody's stuff is mixing, what we're doing essentially is creaming butter and sugars, as I said, is really important. So your sugar is really well mixed in with the fat. It's very even, it's very consistent, it makes a really fudgy cookie. If you don't cream your butter and sugar together, you just kind of throw it in there and mix it for a little bit, you're just not gonna get at the full potential of like softness in the middle as you would if you cream it. And so, like back in the day, for example, when my mom made cookies when we were little, she wouldn't cream it all the way, and neither did my grandmother either. But like you could just some people will just mix the butter and the sugar, and it kind of looks lumpy. It's not really mixed together. This is not creaming it. Creaming it is like everything's really mixed together, really good. So keep it going. I say about 5 minutes. One second. I'm just gonna respond. Alrighty. It's Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just resharing the link with Bernadette. Perfect. Copy invite link. 1 second, Bernadette. I'm going to email it to you right now. Alrighty. You guys are all still good. Keep your sugar creaming. There's no reason to stop anytime soon. All right, hopefully Bernadette gets it. There we go, I'm gonna put this back. All right, so checking in on my sugar creaming situation going on here. I'll show you guys first. So it's not bad. I actually have more brown sugar than white sugar in my, my bowl. And I did that just for different reasons. But up here you can see it's looking kind of creamy and a little bit moist in the middle, but the sides are looking kind of hard. And that just means that I need to scrape the sides of the bowl because nothing's consistent. So if you want to stop, scrape the sides of your bowl using a spatula and keep it going, that's a good idea. Here we go. So I'm just going to give it a little scrape down. And we're going to keep it going. Alrighty, so I'll take mine off again because it's getting pretty good. Now all of it's kind of creamy, it's all looking a little mixed. You can't overmix this, so if you want to keep mixing it, by all means keep going. I would say this is the absolute minimum amount of creaming you need to do. The longer you do it, the better, but you can also stop. So I'm going to do it a little bit more. It's not letting you do video at all.
No, so anyway, I'm really disappointed because I really want to bake along with everybody.
I know, I have no idea why it's not.
Something to do with me and our settings and something we did, I think, in a business meeting, but I'm sorry, I won't interrupt, but I guess I can't show you stuff, but I'm here.
Oh, good, I'm glad. And please unmute.
And I'm baking.
Amazing. One other thing you could try, Bernadette, if you really want to, I don't know if you have already, is restarting your computer. Because I've had this happen to me before too.
Okay.
And after I've restarted the whole entire thing, I sometimes get back online and the webcam works. Do you have a Mac or PC?
I have a Mac.
Yeah, I've had the same issue where the video just doesn't work. Okay, just try it. We're just going to keep creaming our butter and sugar. Yeah, with same thing from last week, okay?
All right, thank you.
Cool. See us shortly. All right, keep it going, guys, and keep it creaming. Mine's getting pretty good. I'll do it for a tiny bit more, but if you feel like it, you can actually add in your applesauce now. So for the applesauce, we're not adding the whole entire applesauce pack that you have. We're only putting in 1/3 of a cup, or about 63 grams. The rest of it you can eat. It's a little halftime snack for everybody. And our applesauce is like our egg. Once you guys put your apple in, you guys can keep mixing it, and I'll talk about apples for a bit before I throw it on there and why we're using apples. Also, if you have any flavors right now, like your cinnamon or spices or extract flavors, like vanilla extract, if you wanted to add it, this is where you add it, is right here. So by all means, go for it. So I'll just keep it on low speed and let it mix. So basically, the reason that we're putting in applesauce into this as an egg replacer is because eggs are probably one of the most important things in any baked good, but especially cookies, to make the cookie fudgy, consistent throughout, give it a nice golden brown color. And that's just the natural proteins that are in eggs. When you're doing it vegan, of course, you're not going to get that. So we got to kind of figure out what are we looking to do with this cookie. And so in a cookie, when we were picking our egg replacement, we needed something to help with a little bit of rising, so the cookies would be, they wouldn't just spread out flat like pancakes. So applesauce is good for that because it's got a little acid in it to make the baking soda and baking powder really rise. We wanted something fudgy, and adding a little bit of, a puree can add that like thickness, that heaviness to it. And then we also picked it because it's a little bit sweet. It doesn't have any weird textures in your mouth like if you were to use a flax egg or something else, and it doesn't change the color. So applesauce and cookies, the replacement is great. We've replaced 63 grams is about 1 egg. So like a third of a cup is about 1 egg. So if you're ever short on eggs, and whenever you're making cookies, if you do use eggs and you have applesauce hanging around, you can always sub it 1 for 1, and you'll get a good effect. So I'm gonna take a look, and I'd love to see what everybody else's looks like, but oh my goodness, my cream stuff went from pretty brown to now being pretty white. I need to scrape the sides of the bowl again, but that's because of the acid in the applesauce. What's everybody else's looking like so far? If you could show me on your camera, I'd love to see it. Perfect, Desmond, it's looking great. It's looking light and fluffy. Hi, Chris. Yeah, yours is looking light and fluffy too, awesome. Bernadette is back, hi. Can you get the video to work? Yes! Welcome, Bernadette. It happens. I've had it happen on my computer too. Let's see some other, Kyla, you want to show me your creaming? Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got to do it a bit more. Did you put all the applesauce in? Or just a little bit? Okay, perfect. We'll keep it going then. Is your coconut oil melty? It is? Okay, so maybe, you know what I would do really quickly, because it's looking a little liquid. It won't be the end of the world, but maybe stick it in the freezer for a little bit. Just because it's a little bit too, it should be hard, and so if it's melty like that, it should be okay. Actually, you know what, it should be okay. You're just not gonna it's not gonna be creamy like this, right? It'll still be fine, but with your cookie dough balls, what you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure you put them in the freezer, but we'll talk about it later, it's fine. You can just keep it mixing, it'll be okay. Esme, how's your cookies going? Applesauce again, it's a third of a cup. Not the whole thing. Everybody, you guys can keep mixing it. If it's looking liquid, it's not the end of the world. Ideally, it's looking light and fluffy. When it's liquid like that, what it means is that the oil was too hot, and so your cookies will be a little bit different. You won't have as much air in them, but that should be just fine. I'm gonna keep mixing it. All right, it's good enough. Okay, so actually I'll just leave this here. So it should be light, white, and fluffy, like this. If it's not and it's melted, that's totally okay. And I'm gonna say that because in gluten-free and vegan baking, you're working with plant fats, and so sometimes some of the stuff just doesn't work out. It'll turn out just fine. But ideally, you're looking for something that's light, white, and fluffy, kind of like this. If you've got that, then we can proceed to the next step, which is really simple. You're just adding in the baking mix. So that's where we're at, Bernadette. For catch-ups, we're just beating everything together, and once it's light, white, and fluffy, add in the baking mix. If your coconut oil was melted, this is the time where it's going to dry up really quickly, which is nice. All of the flour is going to absorb all the liquid and make a really nice consistent cookie. I'm just going to pour the whole thing in, and I'm going to put it on low speed. And I'm just gonna mix it until all the dry pockets are gone. So there's no flour visible. You don't have to mix it a lot. You just gotta mix it until all the flour is gone. All right, see, wasn't that long. And I've got a little bit of flour on the sides of my bowl, so I'm gonna have to scrape, but for the most part, your batter should be pretty solid if you've added it in. It'll be hanging on to this, it'll feel soft on the hand, but it's cookie dough, right? If you've ever had cookie dough before from a package in the store or anything else, it's cookie dough. By all means, eat some now too. It's pretty delicious before you add in your wacky toppings. So it's looking pretty good. Now for the last step is just adding in your toppings. So I've got them all in a bowl. I'm just gonna dump them all in. Oh man, that looks great. That's a beautiful, well, I don't even know if I can show you guys, but I got all my toppings in there. Just throw them in. I'm gonna put this back on the mixer and just mix it until things are combined. I want to ask, so before I do, Kyla, how's your cookie dough? Is it coming together? Yeah, I want to see it. Just because it was melted. Perfect. Okay, great. There you go. Perfect. So I'm just going to mix it up. Mix up all the goodies. All right, and so this is your point to assess. Did you put in enough goodies? Look at it, and if you grab a cookie dough ball, this is what I like to do to know if I've put in enough, especially if I'm doing a new recipe and coming up with a new recipe. If I pick up a cookie dough ball, just any random cookie dough ball, do I have all the different toppings in there in a good amount? So in mine, I've got some chocolate, I've got almond in here, I've definitely got coconut and oats, and I don't see my, my chips in here, but it's because I didn't really, oh, there's a chip right here. So yeah, it's pretty good. I usually say when you're making a cookie and you are adding in toppings, try to go no more than like 1.5 cups to 2 cups of toppings total, or about 225 grams. Otherwise, there ends up being too much going on and not enough cookie dough. If you're doing a single batch of cookies, like that makes like 12 to 13. So if you're, playing around and mixing things up, it's really up to you how creative you want to be. Do you like a lot of toppings? Do you not like a lot of toppings? It's totally your game. As always in my classes, I always say taste your batter before you proceed to start forming anything. So you got to make sure it tastes perfect. So I'm going to grab some now, see if I can try and get all the pieces in it and give it a try. Yeah, I got an almond in it. Perfect. Now, for Desmond, all the baking mix, all the flour, every single piece of it. Yeah, this is great. Oh, man. Oh, so good. Yes, that's a great idea. So Bernadette just, I talked about the eggs when you were restarting your computer, about applesauce and how that works. Because applesauce is great for replacement. Bernadette asked a question. Can you explain how the flour as a non-vegans might not like to eat cookie dough idea? So when you have vegan cookie dough, there's no raw egg in it, which means that all the potential bacteria that people think, could make you sick from eating raw eggs is not there. So you can go ahead and eat it. Now, there is one thing though, is that even despite that, flour itself can also have bacteria on it that can make people sick. And so the number one thing when making edible cookie dough is you should microwave your flour for about a minute before you do it, which sounds weird, but that kills all the bacteria. But in this case, if you're just taking a tiny little sample, like our gluten-free flours are pretty clean, so if you're just taking a tiny little sample just to taste test it, you're gonna be fine. And the fact that there's no raw eggs in there also helps. So definitely taste your batter. I'd love to see everybody's dough balls once they've put everything in together before we get going. So whenever you're ready, no rush. I'm actually gonna go find my cookie scooper because I didn't bring it out. I have my pan here with parchment paper on it. So if you guys are almost ready to go, make sure you have that ready. I'll be back. There it is. Perfect. Just had to grab my cookie scoop, which is actually an ice cream scoop. These are awesome if you're scooping cookies. But before you get scooping your cookies, everybody on Zoom, I want to see your cookie dough. So show me a piece of your cookie dough. I just want to see what it looks like. And I want you to tell me if you've taste tested it. Okay, Bernadette, yours looks fabulous. Let's see. Anybody else want to see I want to see your cookie dough before you start scooping. Oh yeah, it looks good. Did you taste it? Does it taste good? How's yours tasting, Kyla? Chris, let's see.
I haven't put in the extras yet, but like I just put cinnamon and it's just dough.
Oh yeah, yours is good. You can put your flour in soon. Just creaming it to the max. Esme, Desmond, how's your cookie dough? Oh, it looks fabulous. Have you guys tried it yet? No? Okay, well, I always say taste test it before because it does allow you to, the main thing with taste testing it is to make sure there's nothing else that could potentially be off, because it would be terrible. You put in all this work and you go and bake it and you take them out and they taste like bleh, because an ingredient is off. So always taste it before. It also gives you an opportunity to taste and be like, oh, it needs more chocolate, or it needs more of this. And so it gives you the chance to kind of fiddle around. Kyla, yours is looking good, I'm assuming? You're basically a pro baker at this point. Looks great, girl. I love it. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna scoop our cookies. Now, I have an ice cream scoop, which makes it super handy. It's got this little like spitty thing, lever, that helps make it easy to go out. I recommend using these because it's very consistent. You can also just use your hands and roll them into balls, or a spoon and roll them, or you can just put them on with a spoon. For those of you who were with us last week when we made cookies, what we did is we actually scooped all the cookies, and I told you to put half in the freezer and then bake half now, or whatever fit on your pan. And for those of you who joined us last week, did you notice a difference? Did you bake up the rest of your cookies and notice a difference between the frozen ones or not? Ish? Kind of? Not really? It's okay. The reason that we freeze our cookie dough, and a lot of people and professionals will freeze their cookie doughs for a couple reasons. First one is economy of scale. You can bake a lot of cookies in one go, put them in the freezer, and then have them ready whenever you want. But another reason is to also allow all the flour to absorb all the kind of wet ingredients and become a really consistent kind of tasting cookie. It's very minor, but it does make a difference. So what I'm going to ask you to do is you're going to scoop all your cookies, and ideally you're going to put some, you can bake all of them right now if you want. Like, I'm not going to stop you, obviously. But if you want to freeze some, you can put them just freeze them in the freezer for an hour, and then you can put them in a bag, like a freezer bag, and you can keep them in the freezer for a month. Which is perfect, because if you just want a cookie and you want one cookie and you just want to make up one cookie, you can. You have it available, it's ready to go. It's kind of like having a secret stash of cookies at all times. That's what we do in the bakery, except we bake, 1,000 cookies at a time. And then we'll freeze them all, and then we'll slowly bake them all off. But if you want to bake them all in one go, by all means. And when you're scooping your cookies now, you'll want to make sure, like when you're scooping it, make sure you're kind of getting as many chunks evenly into it. So if you notice, like at the bottom of your bowl, all of your chocolate fell to the bottom, kind of scoop from the bottom and pick it up. Try to see, okay, is this cookie I just scooped, is there like a lot of toppings in it, or is there not a lot of toppings in it? Try to balance it, because sometimes if you don't do that, what ends up happening is your top cookies are very heavy in like cookie batter, and then the end cookies are just full of toppings, and there's like no cookie batter whatsoever. So it's really important while you're doing cookies to be mindful of what's your proportion, I guess. How's everyone doing? Good? We scooping? Awesome. Such a beautiful day out today. I hope it's beautiful wherever you guys are too. So we are scooping. What else can I talk about? I can talk about bake along in general, or I can talk about what's going on, what other things we could talk about with cookies. Yeah, maybe I'll just talk about cookies. So, I'm talking to myself right now. What we've got going on here with these cookies to make them vegan. So we swapped out the butter, just in summer, we swapped out the butter for vegan coconut oil and or Earth Balance if you have it, which helps replace butter. We sub the eggs for applesauce for a variety of reasons, and eggs are the most important things that we sub in a cookie when you're going vegan. The gluten-free flour blend that we have here is comprised of white rice flour, oats, brown rice flour, potato starch, and tapioca starch. And so each of them play a specific role, but the main flour that's important in this cookie is the oat flour. And that's because oat flour provides kind of like a nice, it's kind of like gluten. It's very close to wheat flour. And so it provides a nice like chewy, good, like regular cookie texture that rice flour or brown rice flour doesn't provide. So oat flour and gluten-free baking, especially cookies, is really good. Whenever you guys are done scooping all your cookies, I'd love to see what you came up with. And remember, when you're scooping them too, try to be consistent. If you're gonna make 4 big cookies, make 4 big cookies. If you're gonna make 20 itty bitty cookies, then make 20 itty bitty cookies. My cookies are about the size of this, which is about 75 grams, which is a pretty good size of cookie in my opinion. But you know, nothing wrong with a mega cookie. I seem to only have a small half scoop left, a small amount. So that's the runty cookie that I'll get to eat later. Perfect, okay. So I'm done scooping. I've got 4, 8, 12, 13, a baker's dozen, and a little runty guy. I might take the runty one and actually partition it off. So if you have a little bit of batter that's not going to be the right size of cookie, just kind of break it apart and put it in the other cookies. Or you could do the opposite and take a little bit off of every cookie to make another cookie. It's really up to you. There we go. Alrighty. This is looking fantabulous. And now, because I'm very extra, I have more of my flake sea salt here. And since I didn't have too many potato chips in this, I've decided to put a little extra sea salt on top of all my cookies. So the sea salt I'm using is a flaked sea salt. If you guys have any left over from last time, you're welcome to put it on. I like to put it on everything, and so I'm putting it on my cookies, but by all means, you don't have to. Perfection. Okay, perfect. So I've got my 13 cookies. Some of them I'm gonna freeze, some of them I'm gonna bake. But before I do that, let's see. Mine are huge this time. Is it okay? I only have 13. Yeah, I have 13 too. You're good. Don't worry, Bernadette. You're good. I only have 13 too. How's everybody's cookie dough balls looking? Can you show me? If you're done, I want to see. Just kind of like hold them up to the camera, like boom, like that. Perfect. Oh yeah, yours are huge, Bernadette. Oh my goodness. I love it. This is great. Let's see. Beautiful, Esme. Oh my goodness. Oh, shh. My meeting ended. I need to add a new one. Open Zoom. And for those of you on YouTube, we have Zoom here as a way to, alrighty. Let's resend this to everybody. everybody on YouTube. I'm just waiting for everybody to join us back on the Zoom meeting. It cut out for a second. In the interim, I'm going to take all my cookies and I'm going to separate some and put them in the freezer, and the other ones I'm going to just hold on to and bake. Perfect. Hello, Bernadette. Welcome back. Sorry, I cut out. Okay, hopefully everybody else gets the memo to get back online. I think most people will, but I just want to make sure that your relatives also get the memo.
Yeah, I just texted them.
Perfect. Okay, great.
Because normally you warn us.
I know. I was too into it.
That's okay. That's good.
Perfect. Hi, Kyla. Hi, Jamie. Welcome back. I'm going to throw some cookies in the freezer. I just need some parchment paper. Put a little extra parchment paper into my freezer. I'm going to freeze half my cookies. Perfect. So make sure you guys separate your cookies evenly on the pan, and then we'll put them in the oven once everybody joins us back. 1 second. Perfect. Okay, hi Kyla, welcome back. Once you're finished scooping your cookies, you guys we're gonna wait for everybody to get back, but if you guys wanna go and put them in the oven, you are welcome to. Esme's back. Hi Esme, sorry about that. I usually warn people when it's gonna cut out, but I totally was in the moment and didn't do that. Keep going with your cookies, and if you're ready to start baking them, we're gonna wait actually till Desmond gets back, but once Desmond's here, then we'll get going. How are your cookies looking, guys? Good? Kyla's cookies look great. I can see them from here. Looking very consistent. Izzy and Esme are back. Perfect. And hi, Chris. Sorry about that. It cut out at 40 minutes and I forgot to warn everybody, but yeah, this happens. And so I'm glad you're back. How's your cookies looking, Chris?
Let me show you. I got them all.
Did you taste it yet? How's the combo?
Yes. It's so good.
Is it? Oh, they look so good. Okay, you're gonna want to space your cookies out on your pan. Like when I was scooping them, I spaced them all close together just because if you throw it in the freezer, then you don't have to worry about it. But you ideally want to leave at least 2 inches between each of them because they're gonna spread.
Okay, I'll do that now.
Yeah, and then the rest of them you can put on another pan or you can stick them in the freezer. I put half of them in there. Also, for those of you guys who are using chocolate in your cookies, remember last week how we banged the chocolate? Basically, we can do that again if you want to have the same effect that you did last time with the rippling. For Esme and Izzy, last week with our cookies, what we did, because you guys have chocolate in your cookies, right? Yeah? So there's a really cool thing you can do with your cookies is that when the chocolate inside the cookie is melting because it's hot in the oven, it's really, really loose. And so you can make kind of like a cool ripply effect with the chocolate. If at 10 minutes you open the oven and you bang the pan in the oven, just like 1, 2, 3, what it does is it actually breaks that chocolate out of its shape and kind of makes it ooze, which is really cool. So it's up to you if you want to do it. But if you guys are ready to go, we're just waiting on Desmond, but I think we'll just go ahead. Once you've separated your cookies and you've got them evenly spaced out on a pan, you can put it in the oven. For Kyla, yours look fantastic, as always. You know what I might do though, if you want to bake them all now, you can, but what I might say for you especially, maybe bake a few of them and then freeze some, just because I'm afraid, because your cookies might be a little hot from the oil being soft. It might want to let it solidify, you know? So maybe put a couple of them in the freezer. I just don't want them to all melt.
Yeah, we put some in the freezer.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah, you can bake your cookies. So you put your cookies in the oven. If they're small like Kyla's, I'd probably do 15 minutes on the clock. If they're bigger cookies like Bernadette's, I would do 17 minutes. Okay? And I'm gonna now ask my timer in the background to set a timer. Michael, can you set a timer for 17 minutes? Yeah. Thank you. And then if you wanna break the chocolate, set it for 10. And then you can break the chocolate.
Send my hellos to Mike.
Pardon?
Send my hellos to Mike.
Oh, I will send my hellos to Mike. Chris says hi, Michael. Chris is a friend of me and Michael's, and so he's joining us today, and Michael says hi, Chris. Perfect, okay. So now this is the time that, while we're letting the cookies bake, if you got them in, you just put them, you can clean up your kitchen, or you can just relax and hang out. I'm gonna put my dishes on the side. Yeah.
Tell Katerina about what we're about to watch after this. I have a concert coming up later.
Oh, you do?
A little choir concert.
Choir concert. Oh, yeah, that's right. Bernadette was mentioning at 3 o'clock, you guys have to skedaddle. Mm-hmm. So what's the choir concert? Tell me more about that.
It's just a choir concert.
Well, what kind of choir is it? Is it like youth choir? Are you like classical music, or do you do like theater music?
It's pretty general, but we don't. I would say it's probably more in the classic category, but it's not like strictly that. We do a lot of stuff.
So what are you performing today?
What?
Are what songs are you performing today?
It's like a pre-recorded concert. So we recorded ourselves singing, and somebody put the clips together and stuff.
Oh, I see. This new kind of concert series. Cool. So what did you sing?
What?
What did you sing?
I said, mm-hmm.
No, but what did you sing? Because if it was pre-recorded, and you pre-recorded something, no?
Oh. A song from the Vivaldi Gloria.
Oh, wow.
Et Terra Pax. Also, And Sure Stars Shining by Sandal Stroop or something.
Wow.
And O Pastorel Adio. I forget who wrote that one, and then there's another one that I forget also.
So a lot of classical. There's a lot of classical pieces today. Are you a soprano or a mezzo or like what type?
Yeah, soprano.
Soprano. Wow, that's cool. Congratulations. That's exciting. Are you excited for seeing this or not really?
I'm actually nervous.
Yeah.
Whenever I watch myself, even my YouTube videos, I hate watching myself for some reason. I just I've gotten used to it, of course, but I remember when I was younger too, it's just watching videos of myself. It was like, bye, I'm out of the room.
Same with me. When I recorded myself, I have to rewatch things to make sure they're, decent, but oh God, it made me, it's hard to watch yourself.
It is. I don't know why that is. Watching yourself on videos, it's just I don't know. I find it so weird. Does anyone else find that weird? I know I do. Kyla's just I like to watch myself on videos. I can see her face. Pardon? Oh, perfect. Anyways, well, that's cool. Good luck, Esme. That's going to be great. Hopefully your cookies will be done and you guys can eat cookies while you're watching your show, which is delicious.
Yeah.
That's great. What's Izzy up to? Do you sing too, Izzy?
No, Izzy doesn't sing. She plays the guitar though.
Oh, that's cool. How long have you been playing guitar?
Not a year yet.
Well, that's still really cool. Do you play what kind of songs do you like to play? I played classical guitar for 5 years. Yeah, I'm actually, I got a really musical background. I played clarinet for 8 years. I played piano for 5 years, and I played the classical guitar for 5 years as well too. I miss classical guitar a lot, actually. It requires me to really sit down and like think and read music. So, yeah, I just haven't sat down with the guitar for years, but I miss it. It was great. Cool.
I just want to let you know that Kathleen, I should have prepped her a little more. So I think she used an iPad to watch this on, and she didn't. And even though you did send it in your email, she didn't anticipate the 40-minute start, and so she couldn't sign in with her son's
email.
iPad. So I just told her what to do with the rest of the baking.
Perfect. Okay. Oops. Thanks, Bernadette.
She said thank you though.
Okay, no worries.
Very excited.
Oh, I'm excited too. I really want to see the cookies that they make.
I'll get them to take pictures.
Please.
And, she doesn't have Instagram, but I'll get them to send me pictures.
Perfect. That would be so great. What are you up to, Kyla? How's your weekend going?
She looks like a real chef.
I know. Her grandmother got her that chef's coat.
That's great.
We should get going for the concert now.
Oh, you guys gotta go? Oh yeah, it's already 2:52. Okay. Well, enjoy your concert. Thanks for joining. And yeah, when your cookies are done at 17 minutes, take them out, let them cool, or you can eat them hot. It's up to you.
Sorry to leave.
Oh, it's okay. Enjoy the concert, guys. Thanks so much for coming.
Everybody.
Have a beautiful day. Thank you.
See you next time.
See you next time. I'll see you in 2 weeks, Bernadette. Bye. Thanks, guys.
I gotta head out too.
You gotta head out too? Okay, I need to know how your cookies taste, because that's actually like the craziest combo ever.
I got them ready just in time for family lunch, so that's why I'm going.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I please like send some pics of them and a full review of what they taste like.
I'm really curious to see what these like Cheeto things I put inside are gonna look like. So.
Wait, so hold on, what's your combination again?
Multigrain Cheerios, peanut flavored like Cheeto Korean snacks, raisins and salad topping.
It's like a peanut butter Cheeto, right?
Let me.
Are they called? What are they called? I feel like I've heard of them before.
They're a Korean snack. They're just like.
Oh my gosh, are they like really crunchy too?
Yeah, they're super crunchy and like they're like salty sweet kind of.
Oh my god, those sound amazing.
Yeah, and cinnamon. So.
This is gonna be so whack. Was the dough? Was the batter good?
Yeah, extremely.
Okay.
I think that's thanks to your makes the my creative.
I don't know, the toppings, in my opinion, are what make the cookies. So I'm like, oh, I'm excited. Okay, I really want to know what your cookies taste like. Okay. Awesome. Okay, well, have a good lunch. Okay. See you later. Say hi to Jihan for me.
I will. She can hear you actually. So.
Oh, perfect.
She's waiting.
Okay, see you later. Bye. Perfect. Hi, Kyla. It's just you and me now, and everybody who's on YouTube just hanging out. But you know what's going on. Once your cookies are done, you can hang out if you want to hang out, or you can go if you want. It's totally your call. You know when your cookies are done. Your cookies will be done at the end of the timer. So that's basically it. We're good. All right, well, I'm probably gonna wrap things up on YouTube, and I'll see you in 2 weeks, okay? But I wanna know how your cookies taste. Make sure you give your dad the full review, okay? Cool, thanks so much, Kyla. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Hi.
See you later. All right, perfect. Well, everybody on Zoom had to go. And so basically, with regards to that, we are coming basically close to the end of our cookies. I'm just waiting for my timer to be done in the baking of 17 minutes. I'm really excited for the combos that a lot of people put in. That's really all there is to making a really great cookie, gluten-free or vegan. Once my cookies are done, I will be putting them all over Instagram. So definitely, if you haven't followed Dolled Up Desserts yet on Instagram or Facebook, check us out. And as always, remember to hit the subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with anything Dolled Up Desserts. Bake Along is a bi-weekly baking class that we've run for the last 5 weeks, or 5 bi-weeks. So it's all since the beginning of quarantine, essentially.
And next week we're making chocolate caramel bundt cake, and in the end of June we're making s'mores blondies. So if you're at all interested in participating in the Zoom call, which happens below us, you can go to our website at dolldupdesserts.com and get the full scoop on what that is all about. But that's basically that, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that this has inspired you to get creative with your cookies. Thanks, guys.